And that's probably because people with ADHD from a very young age have been told that there's something wrong with them, that the way that they are is not good enough and they have to act better. So you're going through something and it's big and it's important and it's exciting as well, because you're finding out all this stuff and you feel like you really understand it because it's your brain. You get this. So you want to talk about it. I don't think that you can educate anyone on these subjects when you're still trying to figure this stuff out. Today I want to talk about the whole Gabbie Hanna ADHD situation. But before we do, if you just clicked on this video and you have no idea who I am, hi, my name is Luca and I make videos about what it's like to live with Tourettes and ADHD and being trans, mostly Tourettes though. And most of my videos are more like informational types of videos, sometimes more about my personal experiences, other people's personal experiences. But sometimes I do kind of branch out to like current events, things in the news or stuff on social media, especially when it's about topics that my channel is about. So Tourette's or ADHD or trans related stuff. I've been sat here for a bit, kind of wondering if I wanted to make a video about this, because this is not a drama channel, and I even feel a bit weird doing my normal intro, asking you all to subscribe and everything, because I don't want to be a drama channel at all. And honestly, I've been quite ill for the last couple of months, really, but especially the last couple of days, I've been in a lot of pain. And I have a couple of days off and I should be just resting, but I don't know if any of you have chronic illnesses, but sometimes you're like in so much pain that it's better to keep busy and to keep at it and not lay down, because that just makes it worse. But that also feels like a very bad state of mind to make decisions about stuff to put on the internet. So I don't know. I want to do this justice and I'm going to do my best. Yeah, I don't know. But I do want to talk about this because there's a lot of, call it discourse, a lot of talk about Gabbie Hanna and her state of mind lately, her actions online lately, and I can't breathe. I can't even think. It's horrible. There's a lot of talk about Gabbie Hanna lately, and even though I'm not really into like drama, I'm not really into drama. I don't want to make drama worse, but to be realistic, I am aware of the drama. I've not seen everything. I don't know everything. I know enough. I've seen enough to know kind of what's going on, and especially lately with the ADHD stuff that's going on, I am quite aware of it, and it's one of those things that keeps going on in my mind, and I have thoughts about it, and the thing that I do is turn on this camera and share my thoughts. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do from the perspective of someone with ADHD who is chronically positive. And I don't know. First thing I want to talk about is that I don't want this video to be seen as grounds to attack any person I talk about in this video, not Gabbie, not if I don't even know if I would talk about anyone else, but if I do, don't attack anyone because of anything you see in this video or because of any other video. I don't think that's productive at all. This video is not meant as an attack. If Gabbie is not going to watch this probably, but if you are a supporter of Gabbie, this is not an attack at Gabbie, and this is also not an attack at anyone who feels hurt by something that Gabbie has done or said. This is just my perspective, just my opinion, and you're free to disagree with me. I don't think attacking people in groups online is going to do anything. I just want to give my personal kind of nuanced thoughts on this. So yeah. For anyone who doesn't know exactly what's going on, I'm not going to talk about exactly the drama. There are loads of videos that are about that. But just to summarize, Gabbie Hanna, who is a very well-known, very successful content creator, has been going through it online and been posting loads of things that are quite harmful to others. She's been attacking people online, and yeah, it's not been good, and people have been reacting to that, and then she's been reacting to them, and it's kind of spiraling out of control. And if it was just that was not something I was going to touch, because that's not my thing. Anyone who's seen more than one of my videos knows that that's not my thing. But at the same time, Gabbie's been posting a lot about mental health, about her ADHD diagnosis, and some facts, some perspectives of her own ADHD, and it kind of feels like she's blaming her behavior of attacking people on her ADHD or maybe other mental health issues. So the issue that most people seem to have with this current behavior, her attacking people quite viciously, is that it looks like she uses her ADHD as an excuse and kind of thinks about ADHD as an excuse for acting in such a way. And I absolutely agree that that is not helpful, that it's harmful, that it is both harmful to those that she actively attacks and towards the neurodivergent community. I absolutely think that, because as someone with quite severe ADHD and other health and mental health issues, I get that, and I don't feel represented by that. But I also, there's the nuance that, oh my God. Let's just start with, oh my God. My brain doesn't work, I can't breathe. It's not the current panorama, it's just my asthma, but not having enough oxygen to your brain does not help you think. But okay, so let's start with what is ADHD. If this video doesn't work, and if it's too rambly, let me know, and I might make a more comprehensive video when I had time to digest and breathe. But I kind of want to get this video out there. I hope you forgive me. Oh my God. So what's ADHD? ADHD is a neurodevelopmental disorder. It's something you're most probably born with. It has a genetic component. It has something to do with how you process dopamine and the lack thereof. And ADHD is so much more than being hyperactive all the time and not being distracted quite easily. It has very real and severe influences on how you perceive the world, because your brain works differently. That's true, yeah. And it's true that ADHD can make you impulsive and have anger issues and lash out at people, or be prone to dangerous behavior, or get problems in your relationships, more likely to get addicted, get into car accidents, even like the life expectancy of people with ADHD is lower than those of neurotypical people. And that's neurotypical mean people that don't have a neurodevelopmental disorder like ADHD and autism. Those are the main categories in that. And some studies show that people with ADHD mature later. They are a bit emotionally later to develop, and that can kind of explain why sometimes people with ADHD can come across as a bit childish in the way that they react emotionally. So when you know about these like characteristics of people with ADHD, it can make sense to think that, well, yeah, then Gabbie's off the hook, right? She can't help it. She has a neurological condition. That's just how her brain works. She can't help it. But that's not really how it works. That's the problem with it, is that, yeah, these things are real. And some of these things in her tweets that she shares, yeah, they're real, but that does not mean that you don't have to take any responsibility for your actions. It's quite the opposite, even though it's not fair. It's like if someone has an alcohol dependency, and when they are under the influence, they get really aggressive towards their family. For example, just an example. They could say, oh, well, I have an illness, so I can't help it. You can't blame me. I mean, I can't help it. I can't stop. That's not how it works. It should mean, oh, I understand that I have an issue, that I have a problem, I have a dependency. That means that I can't do these things, and I need specific help for these specific things to make sure that I don't hurt anyone. Even though that can feel really unfair, because other people can enjoy a drink. I really enjoy a drink. Why can't I do it? It's not fair. No, it's not fair. It's not fair. And I know what that's like in relation to ADHD. I did some stupid things. I can lash out at people. My emotions can be all over the place. I can be really impulsive. And make stupid mistakes. I'm horrible with money, but that's not an excuse for me not to be aware of that and do better. The fact that I am aware of it gives me the responsibility to do better. And that's the whole thing. There's a nuance to it, and that's the whole thing. If Gabbie just made like one tweet or one video lashing out at someone, and yeah, I don't know, that wouldn't be something to talk about, but that's not what happened. There were loads of videos, loads of tweets, loads of things, and she didn't stop. And she's an adult, and she should know better, and having ADHD or any other disorder does not excuse you from being a decent human being. The fact that you know that there's something going on should be reason enough to say, okay, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I should stop and think about this, seek help and apologize and take responsibility, even if that feels unfair, because it's easier for people that don't have these issues. That, yeah, it feels unfair to have to deal with this every single time, all the time. At first, this was the whole idea of the video, because I thought just that it was all about, yeah, you have a disability, a mental illness, you're neurodiverse, however you want to talk about it, but you still have to take responsibility for your actions. That's it. But I think there's more to it, because I think that's how I read it. Maybe I'm wrong. If I'm wrong about that, please leave a comment, tell me about it. But I read it like that Gabbie has only just found out that she has ADHD. She's just realized that she has this. And I don't know, it made me feel like it made so much more sense. Because I know what it's like to be late diagnosed with ADHD. And I know that for many people, it seems like ADHD, it's not a serious thing, right? Because so many people have it, but it is. And it really can impact your life, especially if you have no idea that that's what's going on with you. You have been living with this thing and your brain just doesn't do the thing that everyone's brain can do. You're being told that you're lazy, you're weird, you have so much potential, but you just don't do enough. And you start to believe that stuff. And something that's very common with people with ADHD, again, it's not a diagnostic criterion, but it's very common, is rejection, sensitive dysphoria. That is where you're really sensitive to rejection. And that's probably because people with ADHD from a very young age have been told that there's something wrong with them, that the way that they are is not good enough, and they have to act better. And they want to, but they can't, and they're never good enough. And then to find out that, no, I was good enough. I just had this thing. My brain is different and I can't help it. That's a weird thing to cope with. It's beautiful because you go through this process of forgiving yourself, and it's sad because you have to grieve the years that you had no idea that there wasn't anything wrong with you, because your entire childhood while growing up, you've been trying to be something that you're not, believing that there's something that you're just defective, even though you're not. And yeah, that's a thing to go through. And I get that. And that's kind of the thing that I'm sensing from all of these tweets. Again, not condoning the lashing out or anything, but that's kind of what I'm sensing from this. And I can't imagine what that's like to have to go through that on like such a big stage, such a big platform. And I don't think that it is a good idea to do that on such a big platform. I'm not going to blame her for monetizing anything. I'm monetizing everything. I mean, why not? I think it's a bit of a hypocritical thing to be like, oh, I'm not monetizing this video. Yeah, but people are still going to subscribe and then watch another video, and then you can monetize that one. And I make like 3 cents from a video. I don't know. I don't think that that's the problem. I don't know. Oh my God. So this is ADHD. Now I don't know what I was talking about. Oh my God, my brain. Yeah, no, but I understand what she's going through, but I just don't think that it was a good idea to go through this online. And the things that I can see her share, they kind of echo the Totally ADD and How to ADHD videos, which are great. I mean, when I found out that these channels existed and there is research around it, existed about how ADHD is so much more than just not being able to focus. And finding out that there were people like me, that was such an epiphany, and it made everything started to make sense, that I was not alone, that it all made sense. I understand that feeling, and then the feeling of wanting to educate people about that. But those things cannot happen simultaneously. But I don't know what that's like when you already have a platform. I mean, I started this channel after I came to terms with my diagnoses, my everything. And I felt confident enough that I could do the subject justice in a way that I felt it needed to be talked about without having to take it personally, because I feel comfortable enough in my own identity with these diagnoses and everything. I don't think that you can educate anyone on these subjects when you're still trying to figure this stuff out. But I don't know what that's like when you are already on such a big platform and everything you do is online. So you're going through something and it's big and it's important and it's exciting as well, because you're finding out all this stuff. And you feel like you really understand it because it's your brain. You get this. So you want to talk about it. But maybe you're not ready. Maybe it could have been so much better if she just took a break and get her diagnosis and find out what her treatment plan was going to be like, do her own research, find out what her perspective on being neurodiverse is just on her own. I don't know, just on her own, do her own thing, and then come back and talk about it. Like, okay, I've gone through this, and now I'm ready to talk about this, because I feel like she's not ready, and that's made her do some weird things. And now I kind of feel like I'm excusing her too much again. I'm not excusing her behavior, because no mental health issue, no health issue can excuse you from harming people. Sometimes when I'm in a lot of pain, or when, I don't know, my brain just acts up, I can lash out at people. I'm not perfect at all. I try to be very kind, because, I don't know, I think that's just my nature, because I hate it when people are not kind at me. But again, rejection sensitive dysphoria. But yeah, I mess up sometimes. But then I realize that I mess up, and I will apologize, and I will try to do better. I'm in therapy because I want to be better. I want to do better than that. Even though, yeah, I hate it. I hate that it takes me so much effort that I'm literally almost 31 years old, and I feel like even though I'm intelligent, I feel like I'm emotionally like 20 or something. Why can't I do these things? It doesn't feel fair, and it feels stupid, but that's a process that you have to go through. You have to accept that. I mean, I also hate that I'm in pain all the time, that I have 4 days off work, and I'm probably going to be in bed all day and not, I don't know, doing anything more fun than this. And yeah, ADHD and things can make you do stupid things. Yeah, that's true. But you're still an adult, and you should do better. And if you feel like you can't, then just don't do anything. Just let it go. Just don't do it. You're not helping anyone with this. I don't know. I've never really watched anything by Gabbie Hanna. Not because I don't like her, just because, I don't know, it's not something I came across. It's not like my very specific niche of content that I watched. Nothing against her. I just don't know really. I don't know anything about her. I'm not like a fan of her. And maybe that's just my Dutch mentality. I don't do the idolizing thing. That's not my thing either. I just look at her and see a person and a woman that's only just realized that she has something, and late diagnoses with ADHD and other disorders like Tourettes. I made a video about that recently, and I got pretty angry about that one. Also autism. It's a problem. And even though, yeah, I mean, the tweet that she did, what was it about? That mental professionals are not fully educated, something like that. Yeah, that's harmful. That's not something you should say. They are fully educated. But it's also harmful that if medical professionals think that they already know everything, when numbers say that, yeah, women are usually diagnosed late, and that does damage and that hurts an individual. And I understand that reacting to Gabbie saying that is like, you on with this big platform shouldn't say this because it's harmful and people won't trust therapists. But on the other hand, you can also think of it as you were diagnosed late and that has hurt you. And that's a real thing as well. I don't know, there's a nuance to it. And I feel like I'm excusing more because I just watched a couple of like the reaction videos to Gabbie and like the more like drama channels, just because I was thinking about it. So I feel like I'm more like reacting to them because I feel like it's more it all becomes like, because one person does something bad, or because someone is a bad person, whatever that is, nothing they say can be legit or true. But that's the whole problem. There's a nuance to it. I understand her pain, even though I don't condone her actions. I think, in general, okay, yeah, summarize. That's just what I think. I understand her. I understand her pain. I don't condone her actions. And I think she should just stop. Just stop for a while. Just breathe. This is just going to make it worse. I don't know. People are going to hate you for having ADHD. It's just going to get it worse. There's no winning in this. There's no winning in this. I don't know. I wanted this video to be more educational, talking about how it really works, but I think I've been rambling enough. I'll try to make sense out of this by editing. ADHD, oh my god. Yeah, I might make a follow-up video on this. This is just like my first thoughts, because I just wanted to talk about this while this was still in my brain, and now I can crash and die. Anyways, what do you think? What are you frustrated by Gabbie? Do you think that this is dangerous to the representation towards neurodiversity? Do you understand where she's coming from? Are you frustrated by the whole discourse about this, the whole drama about this? What are your thoughts? I really want to know, because clearly I didn't have my thoughts straight, but before I turn this camera on. Anyways, I love you all so much. I'll see you soon. I love you all. Bye.